Well, welcome back into Talking Fitchburg. Joined today for your council recap. It's your city administrator, Chad Brecklin. Chad, thank you for getting up this morning. I know we had a little bit later meeting last night, so appreciate you being here.
Yeah, absolutely. Happy to join you. And it was a late one, 11 o'clock. So a little extra time.
Well, and then you get the extra time of traveling in the snow on the way home, so you're just getting it from every end today. But nevertheless, we're happy to have you. We start off with a proclamation to kick things off for Black History Month, and that proclamation brought in quite a few members from the public. Tell us a little bit about what happened.
Yeah, so the mayor issued a proclamation recognizing and honoring February 2025 as National Black History Month. And we were very fortunate to have Reverend Dr. Alex G. Join us. For anyone who is unfamiliar, Reverend Dr. G is a longtime Fitchburg resident. He's founder of the Nehemiah Center, pastor at the Fountain of Life Church, and most recently I guess the idea person and head fundraiser for the Center for Black Excellence that is currently under construction. So he came in, talked about the significance of Black history in our community, in our state, in our nation, and spoke to everybody for probably about 10 minutes. It was a really nice speech and information that he shared and perspective. And we were very fortunate to have him join us last night.
And in case you missed it, certainly go back and watch the full council meeting. We encourage, but we did put that proclamation out there just separate there on our social, so you can check that out, and we'll rebroadcast that on Fact TV as well. All right, let's get into the meat and potatoes of our agenda. We start with Board of Public Works, a resolution authorizing Dane County Services for Stormwater and Permit Review. Tell us a little bit about this one.
Yeah, so largely due to staff capacity and time, we have for a number of years outsourced our stormwater permit review and erosion control inspection to Dane County through a contract. This is the annual contract that we do with them. And in a lot of cases, developer projects are the subject of the activities that Dane County is contracted for to provide here in Fitchburg. And that cost is passed through to developers and does not cost the city taxpayers any money. So that was approved again this year. So we'll once again continue that contract with Dane County.
All right, moving on to a resolution acceptance of Tower Hill Park shelter renovations. As I put, clean out, build out.
Yeah. So Tower Hill Park Shelter in obviously Tower Hill in our Wildwood neighborhood is due for some renovation. That shelter's over 50 years old. So this project was bid out. Some things did not originally come in within the budget identified for this project. The council elected to use some interest income that has been generated from our TID closure fund, and ultimately added in some things like additional lighting, some windows, a metal roof instead of an asphalt roof. And there was one other item, refinishing of a ceiling in there. So all those items are now in there. I think the additional cost was $78,000. And again, that's interest income that is not tax levy money. The council ultimately approved that project to move forward.
And then we have an acceptance of McKee Park Shelter exterior renovation. So awarded a contract for updates on that shelter.
Yep, a contract was awarded, so there'll be new siding predominantly going on that shelter. Obviously, there could be some other work that's determined after the siding comes off, if there's any sorts of other maintenance issues that need to be addressed, which we're kind of anticipating that there might be. But largely that project is to replace the siding on that shelter.
Yeah, well, that park is busy, and it's just definitely it'll need some updates for sure. Acceptance of bid at McGaw Park, our biggest park, at the pickleball courts. What are we doing over there?
Yeah, the pickleball courts have been popular since they opened up a couple, 2-3 years ago. There's 8 courts that were originally built. This expansion will add in another 4. And we're also putting in some infrastructure so that lighting could be added in the future. Unfortunately, the money that was available for this project at this point in time did not allow for the city to proceed with the lights themselves. So again, that'll be something that gets added either as the project gets started here, if funding is identified, or at some other point in the future. And there were some other things, shade structure, concrete slab, some stormwater improvements associated with this. But ultimately, this project was approved and will be moving forward as well.
All right, moving on to an acceptance of an agreement for engineering services for Cyene Interceptor. Ooh.
Yeah, this is a sewer interceptor extension near the intersection of Haight Farm and Lacey Road, where sewer service will be put into the urban service area that is incorporating the Hartung development. And this is the engineering services that'll and also the construction oversight services that was approved.
All right, fitting for today, acceptance of plow truck equipment bid for 3 plow trucks. They're not, we've got the trucks today to get the job done, but in the future, these trucks replacing some of our old ones.
Right, exactly. I think there's 2 replacements and 1 new truck to the fleet with the addition of the Southdale neighborhood in the former town of Madison. We have 1 of the chassis already, 2 others are on order, and this is all of the associated equipment from box to plows to wing blade to the pre-treating system. All the things that you need in a snow plow to make it keep our streets clean in the wintertime or clear in the wintertime. That's what this bid was for, and the Common Council approved it.
All right, so we move on to amending the 2025 capital project fund and general fund balance for Public Works LTE engineer position.
Right, we've been having a limited term employment engineer working with the city on the police services facility, and will soon begin working on the forthcoming city hall remodel. And this was an amendment to allow that LTE engineer to continue working on those projects, and that was approved.
On to RCC, or Resource Conservation Commission, creating an outdoor lighting regulations by Chapter 28 of Fitchburg Resource Conservation Commission.
Yeah, this is an ordinance that largely codifies what the city was doing already as it relates to new developments. Anytime a new development comes forward that requires architectural design review, this ordinance indicates that there are certain standards in which those projects must meet from a lighting perspective. That minimizes any of the spillover of the lighting from the actual site in which the lights are on. So that was approved after some discussion and consideration of some modifications to the amendment as presented.
On to a tree advisory committee, they had a City of Fitchburg forest management plan update.
Yeah, this garnered a lot of attention, as was anticipated. A number of residents spoke at the council meeting last night in opposition of this resolution. I think there was 1 speaker in favor. I think the mayor indicated there were nearly 30 emails sent to the Common Council on this that were relatively evenly split between for and against. And after much debate by the Common Council, information that was presented by staff, and then again, the consideration of the public comments that had been submitted, the Common Council ultimately approved the city to move forward, or city staff to move forward with creating a citywide guidelines for management of its forestry woodlots, as well as forestry management activities within the McGaw Park, which had previously been visited via Common Council resolution, I believe in 2018 or so. And ultimately, where this is going to come is city staff will take the next several months to begin to develop those guidelines aligned with best practices. I'm sure that there will be an opportunity for the Common Council and the community to be informed on what those guidelines are looking like. And no work is anticipated to begin in 2025 as far as any sorts of changes in any of our woodlots, as far as removal of brush, non-native or invasive species or dead trees at this point in time. Staff also needs to identify what type of resources are going to be needed from an equipment standpoint, staffing standpoint, and cost standpoint. So lots to go on this, but ultimately there was a lot of conversation and more to come.
All right, so we move on, amending the 2024 general fund for the fire department as they make repairs to some of their doors.
Yeah, the fire department had some unanticipated expenses due to repairs at both fire stations, the doors at both fire stations. So they needed to do a budget amendment to address the deficiency they had in an account to get those done.
You kind of want them to open so they can leave to go get the job done. So,
Quite important, yes.
all right, we amending the 2024 Capital Projects Fund and TID number 10 fund balance for reallocation. Break this one down. Comes out of our finance committee.
Yeah, this one I'm not going to be able to do it nearly the justice that our finance director, Misty Dodge, can do. But ultimately, at the end of the day, we needed to do some reallocation of some borrowed funds and some TID fund budgets, largely because of the fact that in 2020 and 2021, our borrowed money had to be used for specific purposes. It did not have the flexibility we now have due to a recent law change that allows us to borrow money using notes instead of bonds. And again, I won't bore people with the details on this, but ultimately we needed to exercise some strategies in order to address some items related to borrowing in 2020 and 2021. I would encourage anybody who is more curious about this particular item to take a look at the staff memo that was attached to it. And if you have further questions, feel free to reach out to me or Misty Dodge.
And the finance committee took this up as well for discussions. You can check that out if I recall. So you should be able to see that as well here through Fact TV. On to direct
Excellent
referrals.
point.
Yeah, here to back you up, bud. Approving engineering service contract for Yarmouth Greenway, basically awarding for an engineer to design on this project. Stole your thunder.
Yeah. So there's been some assessment of the Yarmouth Greenway stream bank, and there's our stormwater team in consultation with the DNR has determined that there's a fair amount of sediment that's being deposited due to erosion, and that's obviously causing issues in our waterways as it moves on down the stream, so to speak. So this project is being pursued to stabilize that stream bank, to reduce or further mitigate the cases of erosion and reduction of the sediment that's being transferred from the bank into the waterways. So this will get the engineering services contract for it taken care of so that the work can be designed the work that needs to occur can be designed.
Oofda. Well, we're just going all over the place today. We've got amending the 2025 TID number 9 budget for the Lacey Road Roundabout project.
Yeah, if my recollection is correct, this was also one where a higher percentage of this particular project related to the Lacey Road reconstruction is being allocated to TID number 9. And in this particular case, it's also adding electrical service that will finally be able to power the streetlights and the rapid.
It's there for
rectangular rapid flashing beacon. There it comes.
He stalls and he gets it. All right, final resolution here approving a renewal of VX Rail. I'm just going to say here, it's the comfort costs for software updates in our IT department. Just stop myself there and just go that route.
Yeah, our IT department utilizes this product for virtual server utilization, and obviously it requires support software and licensing. And the company that we had originally worked with for this product has since been bought by a larger company. And the larger company has now significantly increased the cost of said product outside of our budget process. So we needed to do an amendment in order to be able to afford or pay this particular cost. And our city IT staff will be looking at what, if any, alternative options might exist for this type of product as we move into the 2026 operational budget.
City administrator wears a lot of hats, and wowza, we just got to pick your brain like, end to end today. So thank you for that. The next Common Council meeting is February 25th. The next Committee of the Whole meeting is February 26th. And to remind you that you can tune in and watch the full council meeting or any of the meetings through our city's website, fitchburgwi.gov. Click on Fact TV, F1 Gov channel, and it shows you the different ways to watch. And you can see Chad Brecklin there as well. Thank you, Chad.